Welcome back to another edition of Timoteo TV, breaking down the playoffs. We got our 5:30 games that we're going to share with you. Still got Chris and Buddy here with me, and we're going to be telling you a little bit about each team. So going to our first 5:30 game, we got the number 3 seed against the number 6, Vikings versus Cardinals. It should be a great game. Cardinals coming off a big win to make sure they got into the playoffs. Vikings been sailing along with Demetrius. I'm going to let Chris break that game down for us.
All right, now here's something you got to pay attention to, is the strength of schedule. All right, so you have the Vikings, who ended up being 6-2 this season, and the Cardinals were 4-4. But if you look at their opponents' records that played them, the Vikings' opponents were 30-34, whereas the Cardinals were 33-31. So the Cardinals played a much tougher schedule than the Vikings' kind of weak schedule. And so this was going to be tough. The Cardinals have had a rough road, but they got their quarterback was away for a bit, and he's come back, and they're in full force, and they look good this week. I mean, they handed it to the Colts. And even though the Vikings are favored by 14 points, I think they're both hungry. I think the Vikings may be sleeping on this one. They may think, hey, we have it. This is going to be an easy road. Don't sleep on the Cards, all right? We have the Vikings who've never been to a chip, but the Cardinals have never been in the playoffs. So they're going to be looking to come hard. And so I have the Vikings, though, pulling this one out 33-24. All right? But we'll see. I think it's going to be a battle.
Buddy, what do you have to add to that?
Yeah, the Vikings, man, they got the best offense in the league, like Chris was saying. Demetrius, I mean, they're going to go as far as he takes them on offense. They know that. The Cardinals are this year's Cinderella team, man. They've been saying they're going to make the playoffs from the beginning. They had a good start. Then they kind of dropped off a little bit. But as I've seen, they brought their starting quarterback back. He's back from suspension, Ronald. So they're a lot more talented team offensively and defensively. The Vikings, they shouldn't sleep on the Cardinals at all. And as far as who do I think is going to win this game, I just have to say I believe the Cards can win this game. So I'm going with the Cardinals on this one by upset. Cards by 2 points.
All right.
And one other thing we forgot to mention is the Vikings have the best offense, like you mentioned, 34 points a game that they're giving. But the Cardinals are close behind them with 29 points a game. But it should be noted that the Cardinals, even though they score 29 points a game, they're giving up 30 points a game. And so they're going to have to slim that down because the Vikings defense is only giving up 18 points a game. So I think they're going to have to step it up and do some flag pulling drills and practice this week, Cards. All right.
And this is a rematch from Week 7 also, where the Vikes just gave it to the Cardinals, beating them 46-18. So here's a chance for the Cardinals to get a little revenge, see what happens. Going to our next 5:30 game, we got the number 1 seed versus the number 8, Colts, who just barely made it in, versus the Titans. It should be a good game. These two teams played earlier in the year. Titans gave it to them pretty easily. So Buddy's going to share a little bit about that game.
Here you go. You got this year's number 1 seed. You got the Giants, the Titans here. They're the Giants of the league this year, going against the Colts, who I have to check for a pulse because I don't know where they've been playing at. They started off on fire, and they just kind of been going downhill. A lot of similarities, they said, to the Packers, who kind of started off their first year with all the talent in the world, still learning the rules and stuff. So I think this game's going to come down to the Colts. Their coaches got to come together and get this through if they want to continue to play in these playoffs. The Titans, they got the number 2 offense in the league, and they got the number 2 defense in the league. Their game plan is going to be simple for the playoffs. Give Jacob the ball. Everybody knows that. If you don't know who Jacob is, you'll find out who he is, all right, when they throw it up to him in the end zone. The Titans and Colts this year, like I said, the Colts, they've been on fire lately, but they haven't played that much talent this year. Their opponents this year have only been 25 wins, 39 losses, and the Colts' opponents have been 31-33. So the Titans, they haven't played much competition. From what I hear, they're just happy they beat the Packers. So I don't know how they're going to come into this game. They come sleepwalking, then they might get upset. But Rob, I know he wants to get into a championship, and I believe these kids, Jacob and these guys, are going to come through. Hopefully Nelson, Claudia, and the Milhouse brothers, you guys get it together, pull your team through, and hopefully you guys can pull it out. But I'm going with the big boys, the Titans, man. They're no joke. I got the Titans by winning by 21 points.
Chris, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah. I have one word to say for the Titans. Merry Christmas. Right? That's what this season's been, is Merry Christmas. They've had the weakest schedule. Like, if you look at their power rankings to their opponents, what was that? What was their ranking there against common opponents?
Their ranking against common opponents?
Check this out. The Titans are, their opponents were 25-39. I mean, they haven't played anybody this year, hardly at all. And they played the Packers, and we let them win so we could get the second seed. But when I look at the Titans, they have one person that goes out for a pass. Everybody else is a decoy. If I were the Colts, I would put their big man on Lockley, have a double team on him, and then kind of play his zone. And you know what? I think the Colts could just shock the world. All right, but then again, it's the Colts. And the Colts, I heard, even got beat by the 49ers in a scrimmage lately. The Colts, I don't know if they want to show up. I don't know what they want to do this year. But I think the Colts are going to roll over. I think they might get luckily score one touchdown. And I think it's going to be the Titans 36, Colts 6.
All right. That's big picks, big picks. So, yeah, the Titans, ball's in their court. They had the best record during the regular season. And they got to take it through now through the playoffs. It's 0-0 for everyone, so it's anyone's game now. We'll just have to see what happens. So thanks for joining us for another edition of Timoteo TV. Make sure you join us next week as we give you the results of the games and the preview of the round 2. So hopefully I'll see you out there. Continue to check out the website, timoteofootball.com, and I'll see you out on the field.